Hi Aries, here is your ex-partner reading for the month of September 2017. This will be the row for you and this will be for your ex-partner. And like I always say, the messages can go vice versa. Now, the first card we have up here for you, we've got the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. This can talk very much about how, for you, it may seem as though the scales are not balanced. It can be that maybe you have felt that you were the one that gave too much here. Maybe you gave too much of your time. Maybe you put in too much effort. Maybe you gave too much attention, too much love, too much kindness. See, the Six of Pentacles is all about give and take. But when it's in that reverse position, it can very much talk about somebody doing the giving and somebody doing the taking. And it's not balanced. Now, on your ex-partner side, we do have the Knight of Cups. So some of you could be dealing with a water energy, a Scorpio, a Cancer or a Pisces. It doesn't have to be one of those signs though. The Knights are energies of, they bring things to us. And this Knight is on his horse. And he's bringing his cup of love here. Now, it may be for some of you that in the month of September, you may very well hear from your ex-partner. He may very well be offering you something. It doesn't have to be about the starting of this relationship again. It could be offering you a cup of friendship. In terms of how you are thinking and feeling about this relationship, we do have here the Six of Cups. This card is a card about nostalgia. It's about looking back at a relationship, looking back at the past. But see, the thing with this card is you may very well be doing one of two things. You may on some level be looking back to this past relationship too much. And maybe have an inability to let go of this relationship. But also with this card, it can talk about looking back at the past, but looking back at it with bitter memories. Maybe with some hard feelings against the other person. Especially if you were the one that was giving and the other person was doing too much of the taking, then it may be that you are looking back at this relationship with those bitter memories here. But there may be a need here for you to also look at what is holding you back, what is maybe preventing you from moving forward. Is it an inability to be able to let go of this relationship? But is it also due to the fact that there may be an element of anger, and as I said, bitterness towards the other person, and sometimes that in itself can keep you trapped in a situation. Now, on your ex-partner side, in terms of how they're thinking and feeling, we've got the Eight of Swords here. Again, this card is talking about it's the need to face up to something. See, the lady in that card, she's blindfolded and she's bound, and she's keeping herself in this position because she's not wanting to face up to something. There can be an element with this card about pride comes before a fall. There is emotion in this card, as well as it being to do with our thoughts. But what your ex-partner needs to do is they need to take this blindfold off. And they need to face up to something here. See, it may be that they want to offer something to you, be it friendship, be it love. But they may also be very conscious of how they may have treated you in the past. And they may be fearing and may also be very much aware that there could be this element of bitterness coming from your side. And on some level, they may not be wanting to face up to that. They may not be wanting to deal with that. But at some point, that blindfold is going to have to come off. There can also be a feeling with this Eight of Swords of feeling obstructed. But quite often, again, it is about a fear. But they may be feeling obstructed in being able to offer you whatever it is they're choosing to offer. Now, your outcome for September. You've got the Five of Swords. It's a difficult energy, this Five of Swords, because it talks about conflict. It talks about verbal confrontation. It can be that kind of feeling of getting one up on the other person, winning the argument, proving your point. But it can be at the cost of hurting the feelings of somebody else. And in the worst case, at the cost of losing the other person. See, if you are carrying these bitter memories around with you, and then there is this opportunity for communication here, It may be that the communication that comes from you may be quite spiteful. And at the time, it may make you feel good because you may feel as though the other person deserved that. And you may feel that you won that argument. But like I said, it could be at the cost of hurting that other person or losing them. So you need to be very careful here. Now, the outcome for your ex-partner is the King of Swords. So some of you may very well be dealing with an air sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, a Libra. Again, it doesn't have to be. But what that King of Swords does is he very much speaks his mind. And he looks for clarity. He tries to get to the truth of something. He can be critical. He can be judgmental. But also what the King of Swords does is he analyzes things. And he analyzes whether the relationship is good or bad. And because the King of Swords deals with our logic, our thoughts, our communication, it may very well be in the month of September that you do hear from your ex-partner. They may want to have a talk with you about what has taken place in the past and what may take place in the future. And if that is the case for some of you, where your ex-partner does want to communicate with you, you're going to have to choose your words very carefully. You're going to have to try not to allow yourself to be spiteful or cutting with your words. Because it may make you feel good at the time. Especially if you're carrying these bitter memories around and these hard feelings. It may make you feel good in that instant to get that off your chest. But if having a friendship or a relationship with your ex-partner is important to you, then you're going to have to be really careful about how you handle the situation. And you're going to have to choose your words very carefully. So Aries, that does conclude this ex-partner reading for the month of September. And I will be back again to do your love reading. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.